Hello, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me once again. Today we're diving into one of the most heated topics making headlines in South Africa right now, the Operation Dudula healthcare ban and the growing concerns around human rights, fairness, and access to basic services. Please make sure you stay with me until the very end so you can hear the sources of this news and also verify for yourself. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss important updates. Now, South Africa has always been a country of debate and tension when it comes to immigration, access to resources, and who gets priority in hospitals, clinics, and other government services. With Operation Dudula gaining more momentum, the movement is now pushing strongly for a ban on foreign nationals accessing healthcare in public hospitals. This is not the first time this conversation has come up, but it seems to be louder and more forceful now, and it's stirring serious discussions about human rights and constitutional responsibilities. For those who may not know, Operation Dudula is a movement that started with the aim of pushing back against what they say is the strain placed on South Africa by undocumented migrants. Their focus has mostly been on job opportunities, housing, and now healthcare. Members argue that South Africans are suffering, clinics are overloaded, and local citizens are being left behind while undocumented migrants receive free or subsidized care. They believe that this is unfair, especially in a country where resources are already stretched thin and many citizens wait for months just to get an appointment. But here's where things get complicated. South Africa's constitution guarantees healthcare rights, and that includes emergency treatment for every person within its borders, regardless of nationality. Healthcare professionals have also raised concerns that turning people away could lead to more serious public health crises. Imagine someone with an infectious disease being denied care simply because they are undocumented. That could pose a danger not only to migrants but also to citizens. Doctors and nurses on the ground are warning that policies like this could end up backfiring badly. At the same time, communities are divided. Some locals say they fully support the Dudula stance, arguing that South Africans should come first in their own country. They talk about the overcrowding in maternity wards, the shortage of medicines, and the stress placed on healthcare workers. They believe undocumented migrants are worsening the crisis. On the other hand, there are South Africans who are worried that such moves risk creating an environment of hostility, discrimination, and possible human rights violations. The government hasn't come out with a clear, decisive position on this issue yet, but health department officials have previously stated that while the system is indeed under strain, cutting off access to healthcare for migrants might not be a sustainable or even legal solution. Civil society groups and human rights lawyers are already warning that if this ban is enforced, it could lead to constitutional challenges in court. South Africa is still seen as a country that upholds human rights, and such a ban could seriously damage that reputation internationally. It's also worth noting that migrants themselves often don't have easy lives here. Many undocumented people already live on the margins, struggling to survive, and only go to hospitals in serious emergencies. Denying them healthcare could push them further into desperation and could also increase tensions between local communities and migrant groups. Interestingly, this is not a challenge unique to South Africa. Around the world, countries are grappling with how to balance national resources with humanitarian obligations. In Europe, the United States, and other regions, there have been heated debates about whether migrants should have free or subsidized access to public services. South Africa's situation, however, is unique because of the scale of migration from neighboring countries like Zimbabwe and Mozambique, where many come seeking jobs and better opportunities. As the debate continues, one thing is clear: this issue isn't going away anytime soon. It touches on people's livelihoods, their sense of security, their dignity, and their future. Healthcare is not just a political talking point, it's a matter of life and death. So how South Africa handles this going forward will be very important. Let's also not forget the human element here. Behind the statistics, behind the policies, are real people. A mother needing to give birth safely, a child needing treatment for an illness, or a worker injured on a job site. These are the faces of the crisis, and they remind us that while policies and movements like Dudula spark headlines, the outcomes directly affect human lives. For now, communities are watching closely. Operation Dudula members are pushing harder, staging demonstrations, and demanding that government act quickly. Healthcare workers are pleading for practical solutions that don't compromise ethics or legality. And ordinary South Africans are stuck in the middle, wondering if they'll get the care they need when they need it. We'll continue to monitor how this develops, especially if it leads to a legal battle or if government decides to set out stricter guidelines in hospitals. But what do you think? Should South Africa deny undocumented migrants healthcare to ease the pressure on citizens, or should the constitutional promise of healthcare for all remain untouchable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates like this. We bring you real news and keep it natural and relatable, just like a conversation between friends. And since this is such a heated issue, I leave you with a lighter thought. Maybe the one thing we can all agree on is that whether you're South African, Zimbabwean, Mozambican, or anything else, nobody likes waiting hours in those clinic queues. So if we're ever united in anything, it might just be the shared suffering of sitting on those hard benches for half the day. All images used are for illustration purposes only. Sources of the news: Daily Maverick, News 24, Sowetan Live, Ground Up.